Maybe. All right. So we are live, and I am so excited to bring you our next speaker, who's actually going to be the first speaker of the Zigzag Virtual Summit. She is our keynote, and I have had the honor of working with her for 3 years now, I think, working on marketing. And
yeah, something like it. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's crazy when you look back at it. But I'm so excited for her to come and share her story and her mindset, because even though I work with her, I get so much from her every single week that we work together through mindset and listening to her classes. Even though we're not even in the same industry, technically, I am learning stuff that I'm going to be able to adapt to my business. So without further ado, Anna, I'm so excited to have you here. Let people know a little bit more about you and what you do.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So I'm Anna, and I used to be a high school teacher, eventually morphed into a college recruiter, and now I'm a full-time coach. So I primarily coach real estate agents in their business. Yet over the last 3 years, I've gotten really passionate about coaching and really speaking more than anything about the tool called Strengths Finder. And it's an assessment that basically tells you what you're exceptional at. So instead of focusing on weaknesses, which I don't know about you, Hannah, but I've done that most of my life, of what am I bad at, or what's my failure place, and how can I improve it? And this tool is significantly very much about, okay, what are you good at? And then maximize on that, and it'll bring you a lot more success. So over the last 3 years, that's really become my passion. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of what I'll be talking about at your awesome conference.
Yeah, definitely. I love the, when we were actually writing up like the content for you and stuff like that, like one of the things that we wrote was, you always think about what's the worst that can happen, but what if you looked at what's the best that could happen because you're using your strengths? And I was like I've actually did strengths because of you, and I relate more to them than all the other ones because I remember Relator is my number one. And the first time I read it, I was like, no, that's not true. Yeah. And I was like super mad that positivity was like 15.
So you were negative about how low your positivity was?
I was like, no, I'm very positive. I was like, don't tell me that. Yeah. But then the more we went through it, because I went through coaching with you, actually. I got to go through the 6 weeks with you to really learn more about them. It was like, realizing that. So talk more to us about kind of how you've been able to really teach strengths in other people and the changes they've seen.
Yeah. So it's actually been a huge delight of my life, actually, because since high school, I said, I want to study human behavior. It fascinates me. And then here came this tool that allows us to study human behavior, yet in a really positive way. And I have positivity in my top 10, so that made me real happy. And really, you take an assessment online, and it gives you a report that tells you what are your top strengths, or what's your powerhouse, or you could call them your superpowers. And then through classes, sometimes I teach online classes or in-person classes. Sometimes it's one-on-one coaching, but it's really getting with people and helping them understand, kind of like you, Hannah, you had a strength that was your number one. Obviously, it's very you, yet it was a blind spot. So it's helping people just open their eyes to probably why it's a blind spot is it's natural for you, right? Like I always tell people, you can see my nose on my face, and everybody be nice. I can't see my nose. You all can see my nose. I can't. And it's because it's so close to me that I can't see it. I can't look at it because it's so close to me. And a lot of times that's how our strengths are. It's so much of just who we are that we don't know that it's unique or different. It would be, Hannah, like if I said, describe for me in, a 10 bullet point process how you walk. I mean, walk, right? But really, there's a way you walk, but you don't know because you just do it. And that's how our strengths are. It's how we approach the world. So it's been neat. I was just coaching someone about 2 hours ago who a month and a half ago was just really discouraged. Mm-hmm. Well, one thing we've worked on is getting her home in order and her office in order because she has high discipline. Well, discipline is about order and structure. And so some of her homework has been clean the bathroom drawer this week, clean the closet this week. Well, today we did a check-in, and she said her whole, just everything has changed. It's not perfect yet compared to where she was about a month ago, significant difference in her just general well-being, her state of mind. And she said, I feel a lot more peace just from one strength, right? Knowing what discipline means. So that's kind of how it works. And I'm excited to talk more about it in the conference.
Yeah. And it's like really cool because you're talking about like how she's like taking discipline and changing stuff in her day-to-day life. But in reality, so how mindset works and how strengths work is you might be changing one thing in your personal life that's going to impact your business, is going to impact how you work. Yeah. And that is what I love about strengths. It impacts relationships. And I know that like you're only going to be talking for a half hour, so there's so much that you can do. And so hopefully she'll be teaching implementation workshops because after I did the 6 weeks with you, I actually made my husband take it.
That's common.
It was crazy because we share, I think, 3 out of 5 of the top 5.
Wow.
And so we're like super, and then if you look at like our top 10, even more of them are in common.
Interesting.
Yeah, just because we were so close. But there was one that I was like, I know that you are not an activator. I was like, you just aren't an activator. And I need you to take this to prove that you're not.
Right. Yes.
So that I'm not mad at you for not getting up and doing stuff right away. And his activator was like the bottom 10. And I was like, okay. And it helps you like relate. It helps you
absolutely
do all those things. And I know it works with employees too. And so so Anna will be here to talk to you about strengths and how she used in her life. She, you briefly mentioned how you went from being a high school teacher to being a coach. And it's really funny. I've heard of a lot of teachers making switches in some sort of way. And so we're going to get to hear her whole story. But Anna will be teaching March 2nd, 9 a.m. First keynote speaker, first speaker of the day.
No pressure. I'm excited to kick it off for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna you're gonna kick it off with a bang, which is why you're first there to get us up and ready. But share with people how they can reach you and what you do outside of strengths, because you do more than just the strengths coaching. So share how they can contact you and things like that.
Yeah. So there's 2 ways you can contact me. You can email me at maps, like a roadmap, MAPS, mapscoachanna@gmail.com, ANNA. So mapscoachanna@gmail.com. You can also go to my website, which is annascoaching.com. Easy to remember, right? So annascoaching.com. And on that website, I have a bunch of free resources under the library. There's a blog, there's videos, we've been doing this kind of stuff, Hannah, for years. Yeah. And Hannah's created a library for me for you guys. And so you can go to those 2 places. And then what do I do outside of strengths? I primarily coach business and mindset. And my favorite thing of the week is teaching webinars about communication. So since we're talking about strengths, strategic and communication are both in my top 5. Actually, they're in my top 3. So I love what I do because I get to teach people how to have quality conversations. Now, my webinars are pointed towards salespeople, but we always talk in class about these aren't really sales skills. They're people skills that you can use in sales. But I've had people come back to class and say, I used what you taught me yesterday or over dinner with my daughter, and we had one of the best conversations we've had about her day because I knew how to ask her quality questions. So that's really the main thing I do, is teach people how to communicate. So I communicate about communication all day.
Yeah. And I've had the privilege of being on the back end of every webinar you've done for the last 3 years.
Yeah, for real. You really have.
And because of that has helped me make conversations better in the marketing world. So like when I do my podcast, like before working with you, I can honestly say I was terrible at asking questions, because I just never knew what to say. But after listening to all your webinars, I am such a better listener. And so I'm able to ask better questions because of what you do. So regardless of what industry you're in, real estate, other business, come.
Well, and I appreciate that, Hannah. And I tell people all the time, I now teach it in the real estate industry because I found a place that it wasn't really being taught. And so I targeted teaching it there. However, I taught it when I was a college recruiter. At my church, I took a class on counseling, and it was the same skill set. It really is just how to talk to people. And so I think it's fun because I feel like my job, if you want to call it a job, is I unlock people to have quality relationships through communication. That's what I feel like I get to do all day, and I love it. And then you add in strengths, and it's like you get to help people learn how to communicate. Then you also get them to understand strengths, which helps conflict management. It helps people be at their best every day. People enjoy their life a lot better. So it's really fun. And I even telling you this, I'm like, man, this is such a cool job. So I love what I get to do. And to encourage you guys that are listening, 3 years ago, I did not feel this way. It came through strengths that I really refined what I love to do. And strengths was the thing that helped me figure it out and get it down.
Yeah. And that is exactly what you'll be teaching at Zigzag Summit. Yeah. So how that came about, and not that one, wrong slide. So for anyone watching that might not know what the Zigzag Virtual Summit is, it is a 3-day business conference. The first 2 days are completely free. The first day is focused on mindset, because you're going to get to hear from amazing people like Anna the entire day, teaching different types of mindset for you, because if you do not change your mindset, you will not grow your business. And so that is the whole day. So if you haven't got a ticket yet, hit the button right there. Yeah. And make sure to get a free ticket for the first 2 days. And then after, if you want to go deep dive, we are still setting up implementation workshops that hopefully Anna will get to teach one in the evening to you, where she's going to help you deep dive into your strength zone and really understand that.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And Hannah, I thank you for inviting me. And I'm excited to attend. I mean, when I looked at the speaker list, there's a lot of awesome people in there. I know you have my good friend Ken talking about strengths as well. And just as I read the bios of other people and what they've done, you have a really impressive list of speakers. So I'm pumped to learn. I get to teach first, and then I'm going to get out my notebook and listen the rest of the time. So
I know I'm so excited to listen to everybody speak, because I got to interview them all before they even got there. And I got nuggets even in a 15-minute interview with them. So I was like, yep, you have to be here. So
you are on stage. Yes.
Yeah. But all right, well, that is all I have. Do you have anything else you want to share before we say goodbye to everybody and go get some dinner, because it is late?
You know how at the end of some TV shows, you're like, be nice and have your pets spayed or neutered. That's what do you have any final thoughts? So everyone, be nice, get your pets spayed or neutered, take the Strengths Finder assessment, and get a ticket to this conference.
Awesome. Well, I agree with that. So, all right. Well, guys, hopefully we'll see you in March, and then I'll be with you tomorrow night with another amazing speaker, actually afternoon with you tomorrow with another speaker to introduce you to the Zigzag Virtual. So we'll see you in March. Bye, guys.
Bye.